What we've got in the United Kingdom is lots of different cultures imported into this country, not homegrown. The cultures are not homegrown. The cultures are not homegrown. That's the point. The cultures are not homegrown. I did not use it in a racist sense.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and grab a seat because this one is an absolute fireworks show. In this video, Piers Morgan goes head-to-head with former Reform UK politician Ben Habib over British immigration, cultural identity, and what it actually means to be quote-unquote homegrown. The conversation gets heated fast, especially when Piers turns the spotlight on Ben's own family history, and an ally on the panel completely loses his composure on live television. What unfolds is one of the most exposing moments you'll see on cable news this year. Trust me, you are not going to want to click away from this one. The biggest receipts moment lands later in the clip, and it's the kind of thing that has to be seen to be believed. Also, do me a quick favor and drop a comment letting me know which country or city you're watching from today. I genuinely love seeing where everyone tunes in from, and it makes the comment section so much more fun for all of us. Alright, enough setup. Let's get into it.
Part of traditional British culture, having a protected blanket put around them, being celebrated and promoted with our British culture being set aside, and these people are operating often in cultural silos, absolutely at odds even with each other. So, for example, when there was a cricket match, Piers, I know you're a cricket fan, when there was a cricket match between Pakistan and India, rival groups of Hindus and Muslims in Leicester went to war against each other over a cricket match where England...
Can I ask Ben? Hang on.
That is a cultural...
You make that a cultural thing.
Ben, am I right? Hang on, please.
That's a cultural breakdown in the United Kingdom.
Hang on, please. Ben, am I right in thinking that all your family then were all homegrown, going back centuries?
No, I'm not suggesting that for a moment.
Where were they from?
No, the key thing...
Well, hang on. Where were they from?
My father's Pakistani. My mother is English.
So none of your family are homegrown?
Why are me and Ben fighting right now?
Apparently they were compatible.
I feel like I want to fight Ben right now.
Can I just say...
How extraordinary that someone whose fathers are Pakistani is preaching to us about the need for everyone to be homegrown?
I'm not...
What are you talking about?
No,
he's talking about assimilation.
I have to
America are complaining about
Okay, don't all talk at once.
You've accused me of saying people have to be homegrown. That is completely wrong.
You literally just said it.
No, what I said was we need cultural assimilation. We need a...
Homegrown was your phrase, not mine.
No, I didn't say homegrown.
You did say homegrown.
I never said homegrown.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to play it back to you. Okay, let's get the clip.
Context.
Get me the clip, and when it's ready, we'll play it back. You said homegrown.
What we have set aside in the United Kingdom is a homogeneous, settled British culture because we have practiced mass migration from cultures that are different to ours, and we've protected and promoted them.
Like Pakistan?
Including Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, North Africa.
Is your father still alive?
My father is still alive.
Okay, you're going to send him home?
No, it's not a matter of deporting everyone who is not...
What is it then?
It is a matter of having cultural homogeneity. So we are settled as a country.
Your father wouldn't be from cultural homogeneity.
The Unite the Kingdom march...
Why wouldn't you deport your father?
Because I'm not going to deport people who are perfectly law-abiding and respect...
So as long as it's members of Ben Habib's family, they don't get deported.
This is so
But if it's anybody else from Pakistan, they all get sent home.
What we need in this country is a reversal of mass migration, and we need British culture, including our Christian constitutional and cultural roots, to be put first and foremost at the heart of our cultural settlement.
Ben,
this is where this country...
Is your father Christian?
My father is not... He's not really religious. He's drunk all his life as a Muslim.
Wow.
As a Muslim?
As a Muslim...
Your father's a Pakistani Muslim, but you want people to be homegrown Christians.
I didn't say homegrown Christians. I didn't say homegrown.
You did say homegrown, by the way.
How do you guys not see that modern Muslims are not assimilating in Britain? How do you not see that?
Hang on.
Play it back.
No, just to be clear, technically we can't play it back while we're filming the show.
Okay.
However, we will be posting the clip afterwards.
Great.
I'll give you one last chance, Ben Habib, to admit that you used the phrase homegrown.
This right here is one of the most jaw-dropping gotcha moments I've ever seen on live television, and you have to understand why it landed so hard. Ben Habib walks on to Piers Morgan acting like the spokesperson for some pure, untouched, ancestral British identity. He's painting this picture of cultures being imported, of British heritage being shoved aside, of these so-called silos operating against the country, and he's saying it with this calm, intellectual tone, like he's giving you a lecture you should be grateful to receive. And then Piers does the most beautiful thing. He just asks the simplest question in the world. He says to Ben, am I right in thinking that all your family then were all homegrown going back centuries? That's it. One question. And the entire foundation of Ben's argument starts collapsing in real time, because Ben has to admit it. His father is Pakistani, his mother is English. He is, by his own framing, not the homegrown British purity he's been preaching about for the last several minutes. And the second Piers lands that hit, he goes in for the kill with the line that should be tattooed onto this segment. Piers said this, "How extraordinary that someone whose father's a Pakistani is preaching to us about the need for everyone to be homegrown." That sentence is surgical, and let me tell you why it matters so much. Because this is the exact pattern you see over and over with people pushing cultural homogeneity arguments. They build their entire identity around protecting a heritage they themselves are not part of, and the moment you hold up a mirror, the whole thing falls apart. And what does Ben do next? He doesn't own it. He doesn't say, "Yeah, you got me. Here's what I actually meant." No. He starts denying he ever said the word homegrown. Ben said this, "I never said homegrown." He looks straight into the camera and rewrites history that happened 40 seconds earlier. That's the panic of someone who knows the trap snapped shut.
If I used it,
yeah,
I did not use it in the sense that you have to be born and
you have to be
of ancestral
here.
British lines. If I used it in a cultural context to emphasise the point that we need a settlement in this country. Can I just say one last thing? The government of this country defines cultural nationalism as being far right. You can go to the government website. It defines cultural nationalism as being far right. In order to have a society, in order to have a nation, you need a common culture. And in order to believe in, if we believe in our common culture, a British culture, we are now defined as far right.
You're the son of a Pakistani Muslim, for God's sake. What are you talking about, man?
My mother is white, English. Her father.
So she's okay.
No.
But your dad isn't.
And I'm okay. And anyone who.
What does your dad say about this claptrap?
He's absolutely with me.
Really?
As are many,
he thinks all Pakistani Muslims should be sent home, does he?
I never said that, Piers. You're talking nonsense.
You said we should have homegrown people in this country.
No, I'm afraid you've hijacked the whole debate.
I'm afraid you did.
You wish to racialise it. I'm not
oh, my God, man. You're the one that used the phrase homegrown.
I am talking about cultural homogeneity, assimilation of foreign cultures into this country if they wish to come here. Otherwise, if you don't buy into what it means to be British, you don't like what it means to be British, you don't like Christianity, leave the country, it's fine.
But this is what's been said for going on a century now. This is what they said to the Italians who first came here in the 20s. This is what they then said to the Windrush generation who came here in the 60s and built the entire underground network in London, might I just add. What?
That's not true.
What?
They didn't build Britain. They were temporary laborers. They did not build Britain. That's an old trope that's got to go. Look, you morons, you think we're racist.
They did build it.
Blend in beautifully with Britain. Hindus assimilate beautifully. Every other culture assimilates beautifully, but modern Islam
just said that the Hindus got into a row over cricket.
And Luton is a perfect example of that. You elites don't go to these countries. And May 16th
What do you mean by elite, by the way?
May 16th
what do you mean by
anti-Piers.
Who's elite here?
I mean you. If you don't think that Britain has a Muslim problem today, you're an elite and you don't travel and you don't know working class people and you've never been to Luton.
You've no idea who I hang out with. You haven't got a clue, man.
Go there. Use your eyeballs.
You haven't got a clue what I do or who I see. Have you?
Oh, I know. If you don't think that Luton is gone, you haven't been. You have not been to Luton if you think it exists today. It is a fifth post. It is a Muslim city. It is over. It's gone. It's been written off. It's a Muslim outpost.
A Muslim outpost. Wow.
Go there. You can't arrest a Muslim there, or they'll take over the police station.
When were you last in Luton? When were you last there?
And this is where it gets even more revealing, because once Ben gets cornered on the homegrown thing, he pivots to something worse. He starts telling people that if you don't like what it means to be British, if you don't like Christianity, you should leave the country. Ben said this, if you don't buy into what it means to be British, you don't like what it means to be British, You don't like Christianity. Leave the country. Think about what that actually means. He's not just talking about assimilation anymore. He's setting up a religious test for who deserves to live in Britain. And remember, this is coming from a man whose own father is a Pakistani Muslim. The hypocrisy isn't subtle. It's screaming off the screen. And here's the part that blows my mind. When the panel pushes back with historical reality, Ben can't handle it. Someone reminds him that this exact same fear-mongering was thrown at Italian immigrants in the 1920s and at the Windrush generation in the 1960s. The panelists said this is what they said to the Italians who first came here in the 20s. This is what they then said to the Windrush generation who came here in the 60s and built the entire underground network in London. Let me educate you on something important here. The Windrush generation arrived in Britain starting in 1948, named after the ship HMT Empire Windrush, and they were invited by the British government to help rebuild the country after World War II. They worked in the National Health Service, in transport, in construction. These weren't invaders. They were people Britain asked for. And decades later, in 2018, the British government had to apologize publicly for wrongly detaining and deporting some of their descendants in what became known as the Windrush scandal. That's documented, that's history, and that's why this argument is so dangerous, because we've seen exactly where it leads. But Ben's ally Gavin makes it even worse. Gavin says Luton is a Muslim outpost. He literally calls a British city written off, gone, over. Gavin said this: "You have not been to Luton if you think it exists today. It is a Muslim city. It is over. It's gone." That's a real British town with real British people being dismissed on national television, and nobody on his side flinches.
When were you last there?
5 years ago.
Oh, it was
He said 7.
You said 7 a minute ago. Which one is it?
Every year. I was at the Unite the Right rally, too. I'm British, you morons.
You're British?
Yes, my mother
why are you
used to shop in
occupying
Luton.
America?
What's your citizenship?
British, American, Canadian.
You can't be 3. You have to be dual national.
That's also a myth, you
don't have
dumb
3
bitch.
passports.
Whoa, what did you call her?
Yes, you can.
What did you call her?
Of course you can. I called her a dumb bitch.
Well, can you apologise, please?
Sorry, that was a bad word. I lost my
I
temper.
appreciate that.
Yeah, it is actually. I just think, why would you do that?
I got mad. I used a swear word.
You just use a disgusting phrase to a woman.
What? Have you not been in an argument before? You use swear words in an argument. We're going to dwell on this like you dwelled on homegrown and ignored what's really going on here, which is
I tend to
class.
pick up on things. I think what people say, particularly when they get angry, can be very enlightening. Very enlightening.
I've got to watch this back because I did not use it in any context.
Well, I'll bet you your entire net worth you use that phrase.
You're
going to take the bet?
Not in.
You're going to take the bet?
Oh my God, stop
yes or
dwelling
no?
on semantics.
Not in a racial
no?
sense. Not
oh,
in a
it
racial
absolutely
sense.
was.
If I used
in a
it, it was
racial
in a
context.
cultural sense.
Oh no.
It was
in a
cultural
racial
sense.
context.
No, I don't.
Because
I'm
were...
brown. I'm brown. Turkeys don't vote for
Oh
Christmas.
no, we found out what you are, which made it all the more baffling why you would use phrases like
clear
that.
what I am.
Are you calling a Pakistani a racist to Pakistanis?
Yeah. And this is the point about the United Kingdom march. Everyone wants to class the United Kingdom march as racist. Actually,
I haven't said that.
People do say it. They say
I haven't
racist.
said that.
People do say
call
it.
Tommy Robinson a racist.
They say it's far right, it's racist, it's a bunch of white people who just want to deport everyone. It's rubbish. I spoke at the 13th of September. There were lots of different ethnicities present, but they had one thing in common. They love this country, they love its history,
Okay,
they love
we've now
its
got
culture.
the clip. Let's play it.
Yeah. What we've got in the United Kingdom is lots of different cultures imported into this country, not homegrown. The cultures are not homegrown. The cultures are not homegrown. That's the point.
Yeah.
The cultures are not homegrown.
Yeah,
I did not
exactly, I
use
got
it
you
in a
there.
racist sense.
You assured me you didn't use it at all.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Ryan.
but the cultures were... Go and play the clip again. The cultures were not homegrown.
Yeah, play it again.
I didn't
Hang
say...
on.
Play
White
it
people
again.
calling a
Play it
brown
again.
guy racist. That's what Britain has become.
And then we get to the closing stretch, which is honestly a masterclass in how to handle someone who refuses to argue in good faith. Piers makes the simplest, most devastating point of the entire segment. He points out that if you actually read Tommy Robinson's X feed, you will never see a single post about white British offenders committing crimes. That's it. That's the whole case. If your feed is 24/7 about one demographic and statistically silent about another that commits more total offenses, You're not a crusader for justice. You're running a targeted content operation. Then Gavin tries to walk into his closing flex. He brings up the rally and claims he was there with 3 million other people. 3 million! He's claiming 3 million people attended a Tommy Robinson march, and Piers, without raising his voice, drops the actual police figures. He cites the official count at 150,000 maximum. That's a 20-fold exaggeration. 20 times. And when Gavin gets caught, his only response is that the police must be lying because the state hates Tommy Robinson. So now even the official crowd counters are part of the conspiracy. And here's what I love about how this ended. Piers didn't rage, he didn't moralize, he just took one clean shot at Gavin's accent. One line. Done. The whole segment ends with a guy who came in screaming about demons and 3 million people walking out with a one-liner stapled to his forehead. The takeaway here is genuinely important. You can care about people who've been hurt, you can want offenders stopped, and you can refuse to let those concerns be hijacked into ethnic generalizations that aren't backed by the actual numbers. Those things aren't in conflict. The people who tell you they are the ones with something to sell. So what do you guys think of this? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.